Chubstep.
Creating the oil of judgment.
Steed.
Chub. Step.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
A shark ate your eye?
Yeah, it happened when I went down off the coast of Australia.
Your boat sank?
Oh, no. Not my boat. My boss's boat. Yeah, we hit this reef. Huge son of a bitch. Ran the whole coast.
Wait, the Great Barrier Reef?
You heard of it, huh? Smart lady.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Welcome back. It is 6:30 on a Monday.
Yeah.
And let's get down to business.
Yes. Now, when people listen to this, it'll be Thursday at whatever time you're choosing, or, not instantly if you're not listening to it right on Thursday.
Yeah, I hope that they're on like DMT or something. And then I say the time and date, and then they just freak. They go, whoa. Oh, no.
I didn't ask for this.
I've been sleeping for so long or something.
I think most of the people listen to the show are on DMT.
I don't know what it's like,
Yeah.
but I assume that you're easily tricked and confused.
That's, I think, the ideal guest, our listener, is that you don't really have to explain things. They're easily confused, but they're fine being confused.
Yeah, they like it. They keep coming back for more.
Exactly.
More and more and more. And then, they give us money. Lots of money.
There you go.
Jay, we got, this is an election year.
True.
I think.
Okay, yeah.
It is. I don't vote.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a square. But I thought that we could campaign you.
Oh, what am I running for? What would I run for?
You're just running for office.
Okay, just for office.
So I want to give you just a bunch of, scenarios, and you tell me how you're going to fix them in a soundbite.
Sure.
So we can, we don't have to confuse the voters in this one if anybody's not on DMT.
Sure.
So I'll give you an issue, you soundbite fix it.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Jay, how are you going to solve the border crisis?
I'm going to talk about the Wisconsin-Illinois border.
Okay.
And what I would like to do is to have more, more free trade, more options where I can buy New Glarus spotted cow in Illinois.
Wow. All right.
And also
might
cheese
get you
curds.
a lot of votes. Obviously the cheese curds. Okay. How are you going to Israel-Palestine? How are you going to fix it?
Okay, here's what I would do. Everybody likes pizza, right?
All right.
Everybody big pizza party, squash the beef.
Honestly, a big pizza party might nobody's tried that. And if you got both sides in the same room with some nice Domino's pizza,
I don't know if I would go Domino's, but
well, you got to think it's going to be a lot of people.
Okay, you're right.
So you need a place that can pump out some serious volume of pizza. And they probably don't eat pizza that much.
That's true. I can't imagine there's
transgenders in sports, specifically transgenders
in sports. I think that if you just don't have sports, then you don't have crazy sports parents that are yelling at the schools all the time and then making people feel bad. And if there's no high school sports, then there's no weird coaches also.
Ooh, a lot of diddling.
Yeah. So just no more high school sports.
Okay. Now the next one is going to be corruption.
Mm-hmm.
The politicians taking all our money.
Okay. Anybody that is caught doing corruption has to wear a hat.
Okay.
Of the choosing of whoever the lead of that group is. So if it's like a House representative is like the Speaker of the House gets to pick what the representative wears as a hat.
Okay.
And they have to wear that hat until the end of their term.
No, that's smart because they won't like actually get him in legal trouble because they
Yes.
would just never do that. But they
Yes.
will be slightly shamed with the hat.
It's exactly. It's going to be a shameful hat. It's going to be a terrible hat.
Okay, that you know what? That's really good. That's really
Okay.
good. Okay. California's pretty messed up, right? How are you gonna
Yeah.
fix California?
Everybody in California, there's a legal requirement that everybody in California has to live in a winter state at least 1 month out of the year to
Now,
appreciate being in a nicer weather state. So
okay.
like you have to live. Alaska's got a lot of extra room, so everybody gets
Mm,
like a small plot of land in Alaska that they have to move to throughout between the months of I would say November and February. They have
okay,
to
and they
spend at
get
least 1 month there legally, otherwise you cannot be a resident of California.
yeah, that might whip them into shape a little bit over there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's great. And the last one, the guns. How are you gonna solve the gun issue?
Have a really stupid paint job on them.
Oh, okay, so you don't look cool.
Exactly. So it's embarrassing to have the gun. I remember my brother bought this Benelli shotgun for trap shooting, and it had this big flame thing on it. And at first we are like, that's kind of silly, but then it was also half the price, so we were fine buying it. That
But
somebody had done it.
worse than that.
But so like that would be, yeah, so definitely worse than that. So like it had to have like it has to be the point where you are so embarrassed pulling out the gun that the only time you'd be fine doing it is in your own scenario, like you're hunting or something like that. You would never want to pull out in a public
So
place
nobody
for
can make fun of
ridicule.
you.
Yeah,
That's
a
smart.
lot of these rules have to do with shaming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because people will think. So you're just gonna essentially your campaign. You're gonna shame people into acting appropriately.
I think there's not enough shame and maybe not enough people to feel shame, which I guess no matter there's certain people that no matter what you do, they're not going to really feel bad at all. But I feel like public shamings should be a bigger thing. They used to do this back in the day. This used to be a thing where they used to put people in the was the gavels where their heads and their arms are stuck like this.
Oh yeah, I'd bring
That's
those
just a
back.
shame thing.
Mm-hmm. Throw
Like
some
you're stuck
lettuce
in
at him.
the town square,
Like
stuck
what'd
in
he
the thing
do?
with the arms and hands.
Well, he did the only thing that we don't hang you for back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. And you could throw tomatoes at them and stuff.
He
Like,
fell down too many times, and we
yeah,
put him in the thing.
yeah, exactly. So more shaming. Yeah, that's kind of my platform.
Okay. You got my vote.
Thank you. Thank you. Steed, I wanted to talk about the results of the dictator poll thing.
Oh, the hat poll.
So the hats that people said, pillbox hat.
This is
would
this
be
is
good
a
for a
hat
dictator
you would wear
if you were a
if you were a
dictator.
dictator.
So that's this pillbox hat right here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, that is
Okay. So pillbox hat is kind of like what I picture like a woman in England in like the 1930s wearing.
yeah, it's got a bow. So
It's
this
got a
is a
bow on the
woman.
front.
I assume this is a female dictator,
Yeah.
which are
Exactly.
rare, but
Yeah,
you
it
got
could
one
happen.
in Tanzania, so
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bucket hat. That's a classic. People still wear those hats from time to time. Very I
that's
don't know, 90s hip hop kind
that's
of
very
hat.
chill
Very chill.
dictator.
I've got the fez. So fez slash cowboy hat are classic ones. You see a lot of African dictators sometimes with a cowboy hat. Fez is very kind of
Like turkey.
yeah, I would say turkey.
Reminds me
Yeah,
of
very
turkey.
turkey. Yeah, I would agree with that. Chef's hat would be a classic one. Obviously,
Okay,
you know that.
that's another bold one.
It's not on here, but I know. I mean, oh, here we go. Chef's hat down there. Yeah, the big tall hat, and then everybody you had to dress them as chef, even if they're not.
It, it's
Okay.
going to be tough to command a level of respect in the chef's hat.
100%. It's if it's too silly, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, like if you had the hard hat on, that's actually a good option because it shows you're trying to rebuild the country.
Oh,
But
yes,
somebody lobs a rock your way,
yep.
you're
And
good.
you're
You're
safe.
protected.
You're good at point, Seed. It's a good an important part of being a dictator is having the people believe that even though you're not giving them any freedom, you have their best interests in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree that I think the hard hat is probably the safest of these to go with.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting choices from the people.
I wanted to do a Chub history, Steve.
Okay, I got one coming up right after it.
Oh, perfect. Back to back.
Remember when I found that Holy Spear article thing that I wrote about?
I remember you talking about a Holy Spear. We didn't really get to, you said, have we talked about this? And I said, not really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we're going to talk about
you found it
later.
Again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. Have you ever asked yourselves in an hour of meditation, which everyone finds during the day, how long we have been striving for greatness?
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
America is the richest, most powerful nation on earth. If America was a woman, America would be a big titty woman. And everybody loves a big titty woman.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chub history.
Please clap.
So this one, I'm going to give this one a shout out. There is a history podcast I listen to called The Rest is History. I got this idea from them listening to this. So this would be a condensed version of kind of what they said and then some other things as well. So this is all about beavers, Steve. We're talking about the history of beavers.
Ooh. Hell yeah. The history of beavers?
The history of beavers.
It's weird to describe an animal as the history.
The history of beavers. And there's no innuendos or anything like that. We're talking about the animal beavers.
We're not doing a single one in here?
Because of the implication.
No, just beavers in general.
All right, I'm going to give you a short beaver story to kick this off.
Okay, so let's hear it.
I had bunk beds when I was a kid. They were made of wood. And then, we were kids, so we'd put like stickers and shit on them.
Yeah.
And we were like children. Like young children.
Sure.
And we had this bumper sticker on my bunk bed, and it said, "Eat a beaver, save a tree." And I never got it. I didn't understand it. What it was, I was like, oh, that's funny. You're killing a beaver. Then beavers bite trees down.
Yeah.
I guess it's some environment thing.
Yeah.
Really? It's talking about cunnilingus.
Yes.
Horrific.
Yeah. And so you put this up. I'm assuming your family didn't see this.
I don't think that I put it up.
Oh, okay.
Somebody put it up.
One of your brothers, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have no idea how it got there. I just always remember seeing this. Eat a beaver, save a tree bumper sticker on my bed.
Oh my god.
So that's my beaver history.
Perfect. Well, here's the rest of it. This is not as personal as Steed's, but here we go. There was a giant beaver at one point in history. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Okay, they said it got up to 7.2 feet long.
Yeah, that's a big old beaver.
Yeah, castroids is what they were called. They went extinct thousands of years ago. But they do think there was some overlap with humans because there are some stories, some Native American stories that reference what people are basically describing now as likely giant beavers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the coat though? You can make the nicest fur coat out of a 7 foot long.
Exactly.
Beaver.
It's a shame that they went out of business. So beaver trade became huge when Europeans started coming over to North America. So they actually did exist naturally in Europe, but they went extinct in Europe. I think it was like the 1400s, somewhere around there.
Killed them all.
Yeah, they just killed them all. So there weren't any left. So they end up going to Europe, or Europe. The Europeans end up going to North America. Now the Native Americans have been hunting beaver for a while, but they, in kind of small numbers just for stuff that they needed it for. Because the thing about beavers, they can be used for a bunch of different things, dude. So obviously beaver pelts, everybody knows about beaver pelts.
Oh yeah.
Beaver pelts, what I didn't realize, they were basically used for like almost all the hats. If you had a high quality hat, like I've got this Jaguars Duval hat right now. This is a
Yeah.
fake material. This is not actual
What?
Jaguar, cheetah print here. But like if you had a premium hat, it was made of beaver because it would get wet and it wouldn't just fall apart. Like it was naturally waterproof, basically.
Water resistant. Yeah.
Water resistant, waterproof. Compared to like if you had other sort of hats, they would get ruined
bullshit
by
like
being
sheep hat or
yes.
something.
And so they wouldn't be like a Davy Crockett hat. It wasn't like a raccoon hat. We're talking like they would, get rid of the fur and stuff and make it into a leathery felt and make like a tricorn hat or things like that, right? So they would use the pelts to make the hats. They also would eat the meat because it was very nutritious. They would use the sinew for fishing lines, bowstrings, threads, cords, that sort of thing. And then they would use the
what's the sinew?
Sinew is like I'll find a picture of it for you. It has to do with connecting the
intestines.
No, it's connecting the bone, the muscle to the bone, like a tendon ligament type of thing.
Oh,
yeah, but it's stronger, so they'd use it for like bowstrings or things like that, fishing line, all this kind of different stuff. And then they had this yellow secretion called castrum, and it would come out of like these glands that they had. After they would bite something, they would basically add this on there, and you could refine it, and people would use it as medicine sometimes. Probably didn't work because we don't use it anymore. But they also used it. It smelled like kind of like a vanilla-y perfume. Girls use it as perfume at some point, and then they also used it as a vanilla substitute.
Oh
so they were using like the full beaver scenario here. And so the beavers would like crazy change the landscape of Canada or like Northern America and stuff in general. They would, it would take down like forests and build these dams. The longest dam recorded is 2,790 feet long. That's the longest beaver dam recorded.
What's a beaver's problem?
They just like to mess. They do what they want. Basically, they do what they want.
They're out of control. Just like, we're damming this. But why are you damming this? And they're like, we don't know. We're beavers.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
For some reason, we dam this river.
Yeah. So it would like change, people would go to these, it would completely change the environment, all these beavers. So there was like, they think hundreds of millions of them at one point. And then when the Europeans started coming over, there was a lot of trapping and stuff like that. They realized that they could use that castrum and put it on like a trap, and that would attract other beavers to go to the traps. They were able to like kind of mass capture beavers using that. But there would be a lot of fighting between like the French and the English and the Dutch over, different ways they were trying to capture beaver. Over beaver. Yeah, everybody knows beaver. There's a lot of money to be made. The richest guy at the time, John Jacob Astor. He died in 1848. So he's a lot late 1700s to the mid 1800s. His wealth was equivalent to what they say like Jeff Bezos has now.
Oh my God.
And he made all of it. So he had $20 million in like, the early 1800s. And it was basically all from the fur trade.
Just straight up beaver.
Yeah, it was mostly from beaver. So, and I think there's still a lot of stuff involving his, there's still a lot of places in like New York and stuff like that have, Astor related.
Yeah, because how do you have Bezos level of wealth and then lose it?
No, he didn't lose it. There's still a lot of stuff that is Astor related. I didn't do, this is not a thing on John Jacob Astor.
I think it's like a hotel or something.
Yeah, there is for sure hotels. And if you go to the hotel, I believe there is there's also beavers apparently on the hotel, like in little insignias all over the place.
Oh, that's fun.
Giving little homage to that. But again, this is not about, I don't know much about him. All I know is that he made his money off the beaver trade, and he was as wealthy as equivalent to Jeff Bezos now. So there's a lot of money to be made, a lot of deaths and stuff like that because people fighting over this. And the beaver trade got so bad that there was at some point people were like, we got to do something to conserve these. They're gonna go extinct, right? We're killing literally all the beavers. So there's this guy named Gray Owl, and Gray Owl I will show you a picture of Gray Owl, Steve, so you can.
Gray Owl.
I will show you. Don't look him up. I'm going to show you him in a new window and you can tell me describe to you what he looks like.
Gray Al the Beaver.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Here
man.
we go. Here he is. How would you describe this man?
As a strong, sturdy man.
Strong, sturdy man. He's got kind of chiseled features, kind of long hair. I would say, his name's Gray Al, so kind of what you typically think of a Native American.
Yeah, I thought
right?
when you were saying owl, I thought you were saying Al.
No, not Gray Al.
Gray Al.
No,
and I was like, Gray Al.
Owl. Sorry,
Gray Owl.
Okay, so Gray Owl became popular because he was a big, basically conservationist for beavers. He was part of a video that ended up being the first ever video that recorded beavers in the wild. Like the first ever recorded documentation of beavers was involving Gray Owl. So a lot of people all over the world had not, they may have heard of beavers or enjoyed beaver excrements, but they never, the juice, but they didn't know anything about them. So they didn't really feel bad when beavers were dying out. But then they saw this video and they're like, oh, the beavers are cute. We got to save the beaver. So the conservation started with kind of this Gray Owl guy, or kind of got, I guess, traction with this Gray Owl guy. So he's going around, he would do like little tours. He had like he'd write stuff and things like that. So here's one little problem with Gray Owl Steed in 1938, which wasn't exposed until he died, basically right before he died. Gray Owl was actually not Native American at all.
Oh, that's tough. That's
his real name.
That would eliminate you from the earth if you did that today.
Yes. Oh, I know. His real name, Archibald Bellany.
Archibald.
Actually, just from Hastings, England.
No, Archibald.
So he would, but at the time he was claiming he was half Scottish, half Apache. But again, turns out just full English guy. But to be fair, he did date a lot of Native American women. And so because of that, he decided that he could kind of cosplay as one. And so no ancestry. And that, again, I would have a lot more pull in this guy because at least I have some
how'd they figure that
Native
out?
American ancestry. Well, I think he admitted it like right before he died. I don't know. Let me see. I could look up this part.
They're like, hey, we're gonna bury you out in North Dakota. He's like, put me back in England.
Yeah.
My home.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And like apparently some of his one of his wives didn't even know either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What? That's wild. You could get away with a lot of stuff before electricity.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no background check.
There's no checks of any kind.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want back in the day.
So it's one of those things where like, hey, this guy lied about who he was and about his past, but he ended up doing a good thing for the conservation efforts of beavers. They're not extinct now. They ended up bringing, at one point, there actually are some beavers now again in England or somewhere in the kind of British Isles because of, they've brought some of the Canadian beavers back over there to try to restart the population.
They're different beavers, though.
Now they are different beavers, but apparently they can live in this, I don't know, they think they can live there. So
I saw a beaver in the wild once, actually. Swam under my canoe.
That is fun.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I was just drooling. I wanted that juice. I wanted that vanilla juice.
Overall, here's what I'll say. Overall, people enjoy Gray Owl, even though he was a liar and he was lying about his origins.
He's a big liar.
Because he ended up doing a good thing for, beavers. They're no longer extinct. He kind of started the whole movement that led to that. So that's my Chubstor and beavers.
Please clap.
I might actually save the spear talk again. I might shelf it again.
Okay.
Because we're running late. Everybody's history is going to be.
Yeah, we don't want to we want people to live in the present. We don't want them fully living in the past, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to take you into the present to the wonderful continent of Africa, and we got some Tanzania news coming in.
Perfect.
The infection causes immediate respiratory failure, and scientists claim that mutations may now transmit.
You know what Fugazi is? Fugazi. It's fake. Yeah, Fugazi, Fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
What are you, from Tanzania?
Yes, I am.
So this is kind of a deep dive because mainly we focus on, big Tanzania stuff in the capital, Dar es Salaam and such.
Yeah, it's the only town we know, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to go over to Meru. If you're not familiar with Meru, it is a mountain, the second highest mountain in Tanzania. I don't know. So probably the second highest in all of Africa then? Quote me on it.
Kilimanjaro, obviously, yeah. And then
Kilimanjaro's number 1.
Yeah. I don't know what number 2 is. Sure.
We'll say
it's this. It's
got to be Meru. Anyone that tells you differently, it's the 5th highest in Africa. Never mind.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a lot of tall ones.
Yeah, apparently on a continent. That's bullshit.
Sure.
So a man was found hacked to death by goons.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Goons.
Yep.
This is how they're described.
Oh, this is the actual article? These are not your words. This is the article.
These are not my words. Goons.
Okay.
Goons kept coming up in this article.
I feel like the only time I ever hear goons is like is a hockey term when people are too brutal on the ice.
Yeah,
it's a goon.
They're just goons.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just kept saying the goons got him.
Sure.
They hacked him up, and property worth 50 million shillings was destroyed. These goons got it. His 6.5 million Land Cruiser.
Wow.
That was destroyed. His hardware was destroyed. His house was destroyed. They torched it all. And people think that it's politically motivated because he aligned with the Meru governor, Kawira Wangaza.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect pronunciation.
Perfect.
I won't say her name again.
Okay.
So he aligned with the governor, and goons came and they were like, "Wrong move, buddy," and they hacked him up and they torched him. So I was like, okay, what's going on with the governor? Why are people, one quote in this article says, "Whoever thinks governor is leaving, they got to prepare for 8 more years." And I was like, okay, interesting. So then I was like, I got to find out some more about this governor person. And she's been impeached twice.
Okay.
Which is impressive. Like she's trumping it over there.
Yeah.
She's beat both of them.
Beat both the impeachments. Yeah.
Beat both the impeachments. In January, her brother was arrested for murdering somebody.
Oh, good. Yep.
Who was a political opponent of hers.
Oh, no.
This is after the 2 impeachments.
Yeah.
Her brother she works as her bodyguard.
Good. Okay.
And then
the personal bodyguard killed the opponent.
Yeah, he's in jail for murder. Did he get off? I don't think the case is still, ongoing.
Okay.
And you know what? This is a big callback. He killed a Boda rider.
Oh,
you remember the Boda riders that were impregnating all the girls?
Yeah, that's a really far Tanzania. Chubstep OGs remember Boda riders.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they were impregnating girls.
Yeah. They're little like basically a motorcycle taxi.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
There was a very old one where they were up to something. They were either impregnating girls or like the next Tanzania news after that. There was just high school girls getting pregnant.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
If you ever go to Kenya, Tanzania, any of those ones, just don't ride on these. Basically, if you look them up, all the articles are about how dangerous they are.
Yeah, Bodas. Say no to Bodas.
Yeah, say no to Bodas.
So she's up to some stuff. Embezzlement. she's wanted, or they got her, they impeached her for misuse of public resources, embezzling county funds, nepotism, bullying,
Bullying. Wow.
bullying,
I didn't know that was a
contempt of
charge.
court. And this one, maybe it's a big issue, illegal appointments. So she's making appointments that she can't keep or something. Maybe she's not showing up to her dentist appointment.
Yeah. You think that's what a legal appointment is when you're a no-show, flaking
I
on
have
the
no
appointment?
idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but some people take that stuff pretty serious, and
That's true. It is a big pet peeve of mine when somebody schedules something and does not show up to it. So
you know what? I'm just realizing that in a government context, illegal appointments means she probably appointed somebody to a position and abused her power for that. So you know what? Forget the dentist talk.
Probably related to the nepotism thing with her brother and stuff like that.
You know what? Yeah, that's a very good point.
But maybe she doesn't show up to a dentist appointment on time. Who knows?
Nobody, you never know with old, I'm going for it again, Kawira Wangaza.
Nice.
There we go. 2 perfect pronunciations. And yes, trouble in the Miru province. That's my tagline for this. Trouble in the Miru province.
You're starting with the tagline like at the end of your explanation.
I am.
Okay.
For next week. Because, if she gets arrested or whatever, maybe BBC will go down there and actually write an article.
Okay. Yeah. One that doesn't involve the word goons and stuff like that.
One that doesn't just keep calling guys murderers.
Goons.
They hacked him to death and then burned his house down. And they're like, these goons. These darn goons out there.
Yeah, goons does not really do it justice, I think is the problem.
I think murdering.
Yeah.
Murder hackers, machete murderers.
Yes.
I'm blacklisting these guys from the podcast.
Good. Okay. We're anti-goon podcast.
Don't double click that iPhone headphone and skip this podcast, because we'll be right back with more Chubstep.
I was thinking about something, Steve, and this is how to combat graffiti.
Okay.
So graffiti is an issue, I don't know, a lot of major cities.
It's an issue everywhere, even in like Batavia on the river trail. People like tag electrical boxes, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you, like, this your bike path? You hard criminals?
Yeah, so they've tried doing stuff like not selling spray paint in Chicago. That's literally a rule. You cannot buy spray paint in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Turns out it doesn't fix it because people are able to just drive to other locations to buy spray paint.
Amazon.
Amazon can probably. That's actually a good question, Steve. Can I get? Probably. I'm sure you can get it delivered.
I'm sure
so
you can.
Yeah. So there's other ways. Anyway, you don't have a border around you that can protect the influx of the importing of spray paint. Anyway, the issue is that they just paint over it. People rarely get caught. They paint over it and somebody just does another one a day later, a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever, right? And most of the time, here's the other problem. Most of the time they suck. Graffiti for the most time looks terrible.
See good ones.
Every once in a while you'll see one. I'm like, God, that's impressive. Like that person's talent is wasted on making graffiti. And also there's the other ones from like sometimes I see it on like these high up bridges or buildings, and I'm like, how the hell did that person get up there?
They get poles. They get long poles.
But Steve, like you're just saying, they put the spray paint on a pole, like the can on a pole.
Put it on a pole, and they've got some type of rope system.
But to keep the amount of times you have to hold down the button and move the stuff around, it's too. I feel like they have to be right there. I don't know how you do that. I think you have to be like suspended from something, some sort of pulley system.
No, you just tape the cap down.
Yeah.
And then put the big pole up, and then do your thing. And while it's going the whole time, you just can't screw it up. Don't screw it up. You got the pole. Maybe that's why it looks so bad up there. Because they're doing it with the pole.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Sometimes I feel like they're risking their lives to get like a shitty. Also, I can never read it. I almost can never read it.
No, graffiti, they should write in big black letters.
75% of the time I cannot read it. And even though it's in huge It's like, what is this word that you're writing?
I
Okay.
wonder if other like gangs can read it.
Yeah,
They
I
have
think
some
that's what the
they have
hope
some
is,
secret
right?
lingo.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So my thought is, instead of just going ahead and painting over it and just or power washing it off, whatever you're doing, I would like whoever would normally be doing that to just kind of ridicule the people doing this in some sort of way. So to draw their own graffiti next to it.
So it's like the gang thing, and then
you write like can't spell.
Is
you write lame.
You gotta hit them where it hurts.
Yeah, they can write a series of whatever they want, right? This person's lame, they suck at spelling. The point is, I feel like that sort of ridicule is going to have a bigger impact than just painting over it where they can just do it again.
Do you think this would lead to some violence though?
I mean, if they're doing violence against
some retaliation against our,
but if they're doing it against the municipal, the municipality and stuff like that, then you're getting the cops involved and stuff like that. Then it's a real crime.
You're saying that? Oh, hang on, Jared. Gang on gang crime isn't real crime.
No. State. This isn't gangs doing this. I'm saying I want the municipal workers that would normally paint over this or power wash it. They're the ones putting these.
Yeah, then the gangs are going to come, and the gangs are going to attack those guys.
Are going to attack the municipal workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying,
or they're going to think it's a rival, and they're going to attack.
No. I think that the city of Chicago or whoever does this puts their own little emblem next to it, right? They have a little stencil. It's a little stencil. So
this can't go.
That is clear. It has to be clear. This is not a rival gang doing this. You don't want to start some sort of gang war. But I think, you have your own little stencil, and you just say, not impressed, right? Little arrow, not impressed. City of Chicago emblem. Like any sort of your mama joke. You could just put there.
I got one. It would be the gang, and then it would say, their mothers.
You did not have one.
I didn't have one queued up.
Yeah, you get the point, though. I think. Now, would this look worse? Yes, this actually looks worse.
But it's a short term, long term.
Yeah, it's a long term play. That's going to look. You keep this on there for like a week or two, and then you paint over it. So they'll get the message, and they do it again. You're like, seriously? Then if they do it again, you're like, seriously? It looks even worse now. Stuff like that. You can build on it. You can build on it. You build on whatever the past joke was, that sort of thing. I feel like this sort of example would be better than just painting over and just not really ever getting to the bottom of it. All right, should we wrap it up there, Steve? Or is there something else we could do? Okay.
No, let's wrap it.
We'll wrap it up. All right. We have confirmed Chubstep Nick is going to be on next week to talk about Oscars. I thought it was going to be this week. It's next week. So we'll have that. And then the episodes every Thursday. And check us out on Instagram and TikTok, Steve, right? TikTok, babe.
We're 262 views on our TikTok, on our inaugural TikTok. We only got 6 followers.
And
so that follower to view ratio.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
Unheard of. Yes. So there you go. Email show chubstep.podcast@gmail.com if there's a topic you want us to talk about. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.